Pero kidding aside naman po, anong masasabi?
I was not kidding.
What can you say about yung being expelled po sa Congress?
Well, my time is free now and I have plenty of time to look for new jobs. Sa Congress naman, wala akong kita doon since nasuspend ako 2 times, that's without pay. So I was actually making less than the average citizen then since I was making nothing and I was incapable of finding.
May question pala pa ako that a lot of people are actually asking, a lot of youth. Nabudol ba daw ni Sara ang unity team para yung parang yung mga bumoto sa unity team para iboto si BBM? What can you say about that?
Nabuto. Well, that's one way of interpreting it. Pero pag kinumpara mo si BBM ngayon, papayag ba tayo na magkakaroon ng flood control issues? Papayag ba tayo na magkakaroon ng malaking nakawan sa government? Hindi naman tayo pumayag dun eh. Hindi naman tayo pumayag na nanakaw nila lahat ng flood control funds pero ginawa pa rin nila.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to Boses ng Apo. I'm Rinoa Holo and I'm with...
Harold Evangelista.
And today we have a very special guest, Ex-CongressMeow, Kiko Barzaga.
Meow! Meow! Kamusta na po tayo, Kong?
Very goods, very goods.
Pwede na po tayo manood ng bold.
Pwede na.
Anong site?
Iba-iba. Depende kung ano yung mabilis mag-loading sa phone ko at sa computer ko. Kasi yung mga sites iba-iba siya. Yung iba din madaming ads. Sometimes nagda-download lang ako. So it's variety. Kung ano yung trip ko sa day na yun at kung ano yung pinaka-efficient din.
Pero kidding aside naman po, anong masasabi?
I was not kidding.
Hindi, pero aside po doon, like
yes.
what can you say about yung being expelled po sa Congress?
Well, my time is free now and I have plenty of time to look for new jobs. Sa Congress naman, wala akong kita doon since nasuspend ako 2 times, that's without pay. So I was actually making less than the average citizen then since I was making nothing and I was incapable of finding a new job kasi bawal yung you're unable to practice your profession to look for other jobs while being an incumbent congressman. While at the same time, I was suspended, so wala din akong sahod doon.
So would you say mas naging liberated ka ngayon kasi mas marami ka na pong magagawa?
Yes.
Kaso, ito lang yung tanong ko dyan, Kong. Paano yung di ba, binoto ka po ng mga tao ng DASMA? Parang what does this say about their vote? Na parang, sige, iboto kita, tas pwede kitang yung binoto nyo, pwede ko na lang basta-basta tanggalin. Parang what does this say about it?
Well, it's already within the rights of Congress to do so. May rules sila on expulsion on the agreement of 2/3. Ang nagiging problema lang dyan is that whether or not that level of discretion, especially when you are deciding to expel someone based on yung sa mga ganun, wala namang kaso. Ako yung first congressman na na-expel na wala namang kaso in relation to the expulsion. So we're really reaching new areas within Congress, within the legislative branch na para maging landmark case to kung sakali na dadalhin sa Supreme Court. This is something that we have not decided upon and the original creators of the laws did not anticipate yung ganong klase. Kasi nung panahon na yun, nung ginawa nila yung mga rules, hindi pa ganito ka active yung social media. We did not have this level of free discourse within practically every citizen that's capable of viewing and capable of participating in.
Pero wala naman po kayong pinagsisisihan sa mga pinagpo-post nyo sa social media, kaya po kayo natanggal?
Wala naman. Mas siguro, looking back, mas may pagsisisihan ako kung sakaling nanahimik na lang ako at
kung di
niyaan
po
ko
kayo
lang
nagsalita.
silang gawin yung mga ginagawa nila dun sa Kongreso. Because if I did not speak out, baka si Romualdez pa yung speaker natin, we're still going to face the same issues. So yes, I'm very proud that I spoke out.
Kaso, Kong, since you're expelled right now, parang what's next for you? Ano yung next thing you're looking for right now?
Since di naman po kayo disqualified
Posibleng tumakbo ulit, but siguro baka magbakasyon din 2 years. That's plenty of time and hindi naman ako yung sobrang kailangan ko na agad ng trabaho. I have been given the privilege of being in a more fortunate position. So I will still continue helping, especially yung animal welfare. That's still my advocacy, and I will continue helping the shelters in Cavite and even the ones outside of Cavite if I'm capable. And I will just continue doing that as a private citizen.
You're not eyeing naman a different position, Kong.
Wala pa naman ngayon.
Wala pa naman.
So, papahinga lang po muna kayo.
Yes.
You're gonna concentrate on your cats.
May sa mga interview po, di ba, nasabi niyo po na nepo baby po kayo. If ever na hindi po kayo nepo baby, ipupursue niyo pa rin po ba yung politics?
Well, kung hindi ako, like, if I have a different set of parents with a
Opo,
different...
ibang family.
Sobrang laking hypothetical na yan kasi hindi ko may imagine kung anong klaseng tao ko, kung iba yung mga magulang ko, kung iba yung circumstances ko at birth and growing up. So, I think that's a hypothetical that I can never imagine.
Ang
So,
hirap na isipin
parang-
kung iba biglang
kasi iba
magulang
din
mo,
yung
ang
mga
hirap
magulang,
eh.
iba yung magulang mo, iba yung school mo, iba yung mga kaibigan mo. Iba,
Parang-
iba
Kasi
lahat. So,
sobrang
bagong
laking
buhay.
influence
Yes.
yung family mo since sobrang tagal na in a lot of generations na po sila
yes, since bago pa naging bansa ang Pilipinas, we already have people within politics. We're already a political family. Actually, my great-grandfather, yung lolo ng tatay ko, he was a member of the KKK. And siya din yung second municipal mayor ng Dasmariñas Cavite. And first municipal secretary.
So, malaking talagang influence ng family sa'yo. So, kaso for you, as a politician, sino yung pinakamalaking influence talaga sa'yo? Let's say a person. Is it your father, mother, brother?
I don't necessarily take influence from politicians because I take parang mga small parts from this politician, whatever is good from them, and then I integrate that into
So,
myself.
parang kinukuha mo talaga yung knowledge from them.
Parang naging original na talaga. I take small influences from various politicians and I integrate them to myself. So walang mismong nag-iisang politiko na ka-influence talaga sa akin or ma-consider ko as my influence because I don't view it as the politicians itself, but the compilation of their actions and kung ano sa mga repetitive na successes nila ang ma-integrate ko sa aking style.
So, parang sinasabi mo is parang you observe and then you make it your own. Kasi you're original.
Yes.
Pero would you say po ba na na-pressure po ba kayo na tumakbo sa sa politics or sadyang decision nyo po talaga?
Hindi naman, decision ko talaga
Oo,
yun.
gusto nyo po talagang mag-serve sa public po.
So, I have a question naman din po. Regarding your your late father, si Kong PD, I think naman marami din siyang naturo sa'yo about being a politician and a congressman.
Yes.
Can I ask kung ano yung mga naturo niya sa'yo?
For politics, wala masyado because he let me, especially when I first ran 2019, he let me do my own style. He let me learn kung ano yung, what will be effective for me and hindi kung ano yung good sa kanya, magiging goods din sa akin. We both have different styles. And practically by around 2022, 2025, hindi, wala na siya nung 2025, but by the 2022 elections, naging parang almost opposite na yung naging political styles namin.
Gets.
Pero would you say po ba na magiging proud po ba siya sa inyo or anong masasabi niya sa inyo since yung mga marami kayong controversies na nangyayari?
Ano masasabi niyo sa mga what's happening right now?
Kasi
Hopefully, pero hindi din niya naabutan yung mga gantong flood control issues, yung naging economic issues natin, yung pagbenta ng yung gold, the selling of gold reserves, ang alam ko hindi niya naabutan yun, or I think he was hospitalized already by that time. He left politics. He was hospitalized and left politics in a very parang medyo stable pa yung bansa noon. Hindi pa tayo umabot sa ganito.
Walang masyadong kabuluhan pa nangyayari.
Hindi pa sobrang
sobrang
magulo.
rally ng So, during the times of Marcos Sr., during martial law, he actually also opposed it. So, I think if he lived to see what our country has become right now, especially yung mga mahal ng issues sa corruption, yung mga ginawa ni Speaker Romualdez, then I believe he also would have stood up. We would have stood against the administration. But what we don't know because it's all hypothetical at this point.
How about as a father? Ano yung mga naturo niya sa'yo growing up?
Well,
Tinuruan ka niya manood ng board o mang chicks?
hindi siya mahilig sa mga ganung bagay. We're also opposite in that regard. And hindi din siya, actually nung bago akong pinanganak, mga 2 years old lang ako, nagkaroon siya ng quadruple bypass. Or parang ganun, nagkaroon siya ng heart surgery. So hindi siya masyadong yung tipo na nag-i-sports. Pero ako nung bata ako, mahilig ako sa sports. I do martial arts. And counting basketball, I also do swimming, gym.
Halata naman din po kung...
Thank you. So hindi kami masyadong nakakapag-relate doon. But we still love each other despite that, even though we have
Different
very
yung
little
personality
things.
niya.
Different personalities.
Hindi relatable. At siya ayaw niya sa mga, he doesn't like guns while I like shooting. I have an airsoft field.
Ay, I've seen in your Facebook, mahilig kasi airsoft din, ha?
And also actual shooting, actual firing.
Actual shooting. Di ba yun masakit pag namamaril?
Pag natamaan ka, yes. Pero pag firing mo naman, goods
Anong
na.
klaseng guns po yung mga nyo, pinagpa-practice nyo? Yung like yung mga pistol ba or yung big guns talaga?
Iba-iba. Kasi may pistols, may mga rifles, and yung mga shotguns din.
Kaso,
Kung ano yung available sa firing
ba't mo
range.
nagustuhan yung yung mga barrel, yung mga airsoft? Parang why did it start there?
It's exciting. Nakita mo siya sa mga action movies, sa mga barilan. And I also believe it's part of my fundamental philosophy that one must be prepared for any escalation of violence. And considering, katulad ngayon, yung sitwasyon natin ngayon, we have possible threat of military escalation with China. We have, nakita natin yung war sa Ukraine, the war in Iran, and the increasing, especially in Cavite, sa amin, mataas talaga yung crime. It's a very high crime rate area. And when you're surrounded by these things, kailangan talaga alam mo kung paano, you need to know how to protect yourself. And you have to be prepared for any escalation or any possible threat to your life.
Would you say po ba na merong possibility na magkakaroon ng war dito sa Philippines?
Yes. And hindi lang ako. But even the military has also stated, General Browner has stated that there is a possibility for war with China. The President Malacanang has stated that there are definitely issues and escalating tensions within the West Philippine Sea. And there will be involvement from the Philippines if ever Taiwan and China were to reunify. So hindi lang siya, it's no longer theoretical. There are certain circumstances and lines that either the Philippines or China can cross that will inevitably cause war. And that is something that both our military and our executive branch and even Congress recognizes.
So we're living in scary times din talaga, no?
I mean, like, it's always a scary time, especially with these types of things happening, but we must always be prepared for these times.
Pero since sinabi niyo po na possible magkaroon ng war, sa tingin niyo po kailan kaya pwedeng mangyari? Like within 5 years or ano po?
It really depends kasi hindi talaga nila
Kung paano mag-escalate yung situation, no, Kong?
yung, like, for example, yung sa Iran, it is a very
Sudden?
So, din yun, biglaan, di ba?
It's
Yung
sud-
pag-atake niya sa Iran.
it's sudden, pero even before the Iran attack on late February or early March, was it? We can already see, like, for example, yung currency ng Iran, the Iranian rial, has decreased. It actually collapsed on January, and there were massive protests within Iran. And from then, nakita mo talaga yung instability within that country. And in times of instability, the US added to that instability with their military action. So there are signs for the potential of war. Like, for example, during World War II, when during the Great Depression, during the times when Germany also faced hyperinflation and also faced a lot of economic problems before the start of World War II. After what happened in World War I, where they were forced to pay reparations, which they were incapable of paying, and then their currency faced hyperinflation, those types of economic circumstances gave rise to Hitler. The people demanded a strong leader, and they demanded a scapegoat for the flaws and for the problems within their own country. And that has given the rise to the Nazi Party. And then it just
happened. Though.
yeah, it's just a sequential form of events where they invade Poland, and then Japan gets involved, Italy gets involved, the US gets involved, and becomes a world war. So these types of things, there are unpredictable, but there are circumstances that could lead to those things.
So we really never know. Parang
Yes.
baka kung anong mangyari bigla.
It's not that we're close to a war with China, but are we closer now than we were a few years ago? Yes, definitely. And that's the problem now. We're getting closer than we are getting further. We're bringing it closer than we are pushing it further.
That's why
And the
you're
problem.
starting to prepare then. Kasi you never know what's gonna happen eh. Nakakatakot
Para
din
ready
yan.
na kayo kung sakaling magkaroon ng bakbakan or ano.
Because in the past few years, we did not have these types of diplomatic issues with China. Wala man tayong ganito kalaking mga issues within the West
Mas
Philippine
lumala
Sea.
lang
and
Mas
Stay.
lumala.
Yes,
Kasi
it's-
parang there's a territorial dispute, biglang one side is saying this, another side is saying that.
Yes.
Kaya mas lumala ang tension.
And also the Taiwan involvement. I think that's gonna be the biggest problem. Yung sa West Philippine, I don't think China will have a war over the West Philippine Sea, or I don't think they want a military escalation due to the West Philippine Sea. But regarding reunification with China, that's a very big and a very different topic. If ever we were to state that, or if ever we were to involve ourselves with that, with their internal conflict there, I think that would be possibly a very big problem for our country. And considering China's also our largest economic partner, then it's a big issue.
It's a very big issue.
So for this segment naman po, may papakita kaming mga pictures sa inyo. And then kung anong pumasok sa utak nyo, yun yung sasabihin nyo for one sentence lang.
Yes, so
Okay.
one sentence.
Pakita niyo na po yung picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Anong masasabi mo dyan, Kong?
Very goods, very goods.
Very good. Very familiar po ba, Kong?
Familiar, pero matagal na siyang wala sa industry eh. So, someone more recent would be better. But still,
Ano yan?
Hanggang
OG, Hall of Famer.
active siya, mga pa lang ako eh. Teenager pa lang ako noon eh.
Damn. Sige.
But original na.
Next picture.
OG na. Very good. Best president. Number
president.
one, especially yung anti-crime, anti-drugs. Since sa Cavite, sobrang laking problema talaga yun sa amin.
Next picture.
Next picture, guys.
Meow meow, ding back siya time. Huwag mo akong turukan, please. Thank you. Kasi yan yung sa Alvarez o
yung
yung sa...
nagsabing pusang ina mo.
Pusang ina mo rin.
Next one.
Sandro, walang masyadong comment ngayon kasi medyo tahimik siya ngayon eh. Walang masyadong ginagawa yung majority leaders within the House of Representatives. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, good job, Senate President. And hopefully hindi na masyadong magulo sa Senate pagbalik niya.
Next.
Win Gatchalian, masyado siyang excited maging Senate President. It's been very chaotic ever since then. Jinggoy, good jobs. Matapang talaga yan, willing magpakulong kahit ano. In order to stay loyal to the Senate presidency, willing siya magpakulong. And that's a sacrifice. The trait of being capable of sacrificing for your allies, no matter what, is still something that's very admirable. Switch teams, well, at least wala na siyang mga kaso. So, good. That's good for him. Wala siyang kaso, pero traitor. Joel, wala pang masyado kasi medyo tahimik ko siya ngayon eh. So, walang masyadong comment. Dito, Sigit Bulaga. But black hair siya dyan. White hair na siya. Yun yung mga lumang pictures niya.
Sino unang pictures niya po?
Well, he failed as Senate President since wala talagang napakulong yung blue ribbon under his time and walang masyadong nangyari when he was Senate President. So, goods lang na napalitan siya. Lenny, hindi masyadong active. There's really nothing to comment on her since she's been out of national politics for the past 3 years. Bye-bye, crocodile. Meow, meow. Zaldi, wala din. Kasi wala nang balita sa kanya. Nahuli siya, tapos hindi pala siya nahuli. And then, it's been 9 months since nag-release yung video niya. So, we'll still see what new updates for him will be. Pero feeling ko hindi na talaga siya mahuli. He has his own... Baka may bagong pamilya na siya sa Europe with his own mansion and everything. So, good job for him. Sino yan?
Senator Lito Lapid.
No comment. Wala din siyang comment, so no comment din ako. John Vic Remulla, SILG, wala din masyado eh. Kasi like, hindi masyadong noisy yung SILG ngayon. Mostly na-focus sa ombudsman and sa NBI yung issues. No. Wala talagang ginagawa yan. Very bad president and really, plenty of our issues now actually, plenty of his problems now actually started due to his lack of action. Vice President Sara Duterte, I believe she is the hope for our nation. And siya lang din talaga yung lumaban kina Romualdez at kay Saldico bago pa ako nagsalta. So yes, she's really the only one capable of bringing the corruption to an end. Anong connect nito sa mga yun?
Teka lang. Parang nagkamali yata tayo dyan. Anong next yan?
Bato de la Rosa, very good. Parang action movie talaga yung nangyari sa Senate last month nung nag-switch of Senate leadership. And we'll see what will happen. Hopefully, hindi siya mahuli ng ICC. Ginawa lang talaga nila yung ICC case kasi wala silang magawang kaso dito sa Philippine courts and alam naman lang hindi maging effective yun. So they really have to use another country for that. But I wish him the best.
Parang halos lahat po ng mga sagot niyo, very good, goods lang.
Mm-hmm.
Pero since nabanggit niyo po kanina si VP Sara po yung hope of our nation, can you share why?
Well, because I've spoken to her and I've seen what she has done and she's the only one who's capable of speaking out against the current administration and against Martin Romualdez. The others who are stating that they're anti-corruption are afraid to speak out. And yun talaga yung kailangan natin. Hindi lang yung, we don't need someone who's speaking for what's right, but who also has the bravery to speak for what's right. Even in the face of political harassment and political persecution. Yun yung kinakatakutan ngayon ng opposition party, the pink opposition, that they're willing to speak out against Duterte, but they're not willing to speak out against Marcos because it's currently the Marcos administration. And it's that bravery that I see within Vice President Sara Duterte that also inspires me and also has led me to believe that she is the future of our nation.
Yeah, so right now, as a VP, how is she doing naman? Sa job-wise?
Very, very good.
Very good.
Actually, nakita ko din, we've also had the recent news about her visiting the victims of the
Tapos
earthquake.
nagpadala pa siya ng mga food trucks, right?
Yes. So,
Kaso,
yun
Pero
talaga yung...
like, ano pong masasabi nyo since marami pong allegations about VP Sara?
Yung sa confidential funds and sa recent niya po yung sa asawa niya po yung parang billions of transactions.
Or is that bank transactions? Like,
Opo.
for both
Yung pinakita ng
getting
house.
added to their bank account and
Opo, parang may
outside their
mga
bank account.
anomalies sa mga transaction po na ang laki ng pera po.
Well, usually, these anomalies, same issue lang din yan last year. They're just recycling the issues from the previous impeachment case. Yun din yung sinabi ko. If the impeachment case in 2025 did not go anywhere, what would lead them to expect that the impeachment case in 2026 would be any different? They're just wasting Congress's time and money on these repetitive impeachment cases. So, really, insufficient talaga yun. Especially considering na the budget of the OVP has been severely decreased and her confidential funds is much less than the confidential funds of the Office of the President, which is not being investigated, then clearly this is just massively politicized.
So,
Pero how about naman po
si
kay,
VP
kay
Lenny,
Lenny po?
as her time as Vice President.
Last
parang,
term po.
what do you think about her term? Ano nagawa niya as Vice President?
Hindi pa ako national noon eh. I was under local, so wala din ako masyadong masabi noon regarding her time as Vice President. But I still supported Duterte during that time.
Okay. May question pala pa ako that a lot of people are actually asking, a lot of youth. Nabudol ba daw ni Sara ang Unity Team para yung mga bumoto sa Unity Team para iboto si BBM? Like, what can you say about that?
Nabudo. Well, that's one way of interpreting it. Pero pag kinumpara mo si BBM ngayon at si BBM nung kampanya ng 2022, if you compare like his speeches back then compared to his speeches now, sobrang laki ng pagkakaiba nun. And what he was promising, which is economic stability and economic levels the same time as his father, and also joint leadership with the Dutertes, he failed on both of those things. In a way, yes, kung naniwala tayong lahat doon, that's our fault. But at the same time, those promises seemed very possible and very believable during the time. And he had the capacity of fulfilling those promises kung hindi lang niya hinayaan si Martin Romualdez maging speaker at lahat ng mga issues within Congress to happen, and for us to lose the foreign investment, for the foreign investor confidence, and even our local investors are losing confidence with the government. And if we did not sell our gold reserves, if we did not waste the money in the Maharlika Investment Fund, all of these issues has led to the current economic state that we have now. And yung mga issues din laban kay Duterte, kung hindi sila nag-away, then he would not have faced the massive backlash that he faces from the public now. He would not have these negative trust ratings, and he would not have the negative electoral performance during the 2025 senatorial elections. So lahat ng ito nag-umpisa dahil hindi niya na itupad yung mga pangako niya, which is economic stability and joint leadership with the Dutertes.
Question lang din. Parang, paano ba nagsimula yung, let's say, yung away between Marcos and Duterte? And paano parang yung super malalang corruption na biglang nangyari? Na nagulat tayong lahat.
Well, from what I've heard, it all started when Martin Romualdez wanted to become president in 2028.
So, dun pa lang nagka-problema na.
Yes.
So, can you elaborate more? So, dun nagsimula, tas
When he
biglang
became House Speaker, and then lumala
nag-away yung
yung
both
issue.
sides. Tas after nun, nasira talaga yung relationship nila.
Yes. Nung nakita na natin si Martin Romualdez na lumalabas sa mga presidential surveys, that's the beginning of the downfall of both Congress and the Marcos.
Yeah, kaso, paano naman, di ba sa Congress, we have this corruption problem happening right now. Parang si Presidente nung SONA, sinabi niyang, di ba, that's where sinabi niya yung flood control and everything. Ano yung reaction sa loob ng House during that time?
Wala silang magagawa kung di pumalakpak.
Hindi pumalakpak.
Ba't pumalakpak?
Kasi pag hindi sila supportive, edi
Parang sila po yung
mawawalan
malalagot.
sila at mawawalan din sila ng mga budgets, especially and even committees, since the House leadership is also under Marcos.
So sa tingin niyo po parang nape-pressure yung mga nasa loob na parang umagri or parang sila yung malalagot, ganun. Parang sumasama na lang ba talaga sila about sa corruption?
Yes, they are very pressured.
Speaking of the House pala, ano pala yung relationship niya ni Congresswoman Garin? Like,
Green, we don't talk outside of the House. So
parang palagi kayo nagkaka conflict eh. And then you post about her sa back siya.
Oo.
Yung may pinost po yata kayo sa TikTok na parang edit. Opo.
I actually
Ayun yung DJ Meow Meow.
Opo.
naturukan ako ng back siya. Tapos I had ITP.
Well, are you
Nagulat ka
still,
dun.
are you fine? Goods ka lang, hindi naman nakakahawa yun, di ba?
Hindi siya nakakawa ko. Hindi, ano lang. How do I say? Just have to watch my diet. Tapos I have to watch my platelets. Kasi yun ang cause eh. Bumababa ang platelets ko.
Yes.
Parang yung symptoms ko, it's similar with leukemia, but it's not leukemia naman.
Wait, hanggang ngayon may symptoms pa from the...
Ay, yes.
Kailan ka
Kasi
ba
parang...
nagpaturok?
I think 2016, 2017.
Parang tagal na.
Since
Hanggang ngayon, may
there's not
effects
supposed
pa
to be
rin.
long-term effects. Kasi
Oo.
yung sa COVID naman, walang long-term effects yun eh.
Hindi ko rin
Tagal
alam
na yun
sa
eh.
akin eh. Kasi bawat check namin ng platelets ko, talagang mababa talaga. Kasi normal platelets between 150,000 to 450,000. Sa akin, it's usually mga 100,000 or bumababa pa like let's say 80,000. Kaso mas malala naman nung umpisa, mga 30,000, 40,000 lang yun eh. So I could say it's getting better naman. I just have to watch my diet.
Pero doon nagsimula yun nung nagpaturok ka.
A proper vaccine should not have long-term effects. Or at least not once na isang dekada na may sakit ka pa dun. May mga effects. Because vaccines work in a way that pag tinurukan ka, they're actually injecting a weaker version of the virus into your system. So that gives time for your immune system to recognize and fight the threat of the virus if ever na magkakasakit ka talaga. Like for example, nagkasakit ka, di ba? May virus sa katawan mo. Una, yung immune system, identify niya yung virus. So they can create killer T cells, yung mga white blood cells na lalaban doon. And in order to create that, they have to first recognize the virus. So the vaccines inject smaller, weaker portions of that virus so that your immune system will be capable of defending it when the real virus actually arrives in your body. And yun din yung kung ba't tayo symptoms pag nagkakasakit tayo.
After maturukan.
Like for example, yung lagnat, pag nagkaroon na virus, for example, yung COVID, pag nagkalagnat ka doon, it's not actually the virus that's causing the fever. It's your body's response to that virus. Kasi pag mas mataas yung internal body temperature mo, mas malakas yung immune system mo in fighting the virus. And the virus is also weaker against during times of high temperature.
You read a lot po kung na.
Yes, I've
You
also
do a lot of
studied
research.
about the immune system.
That.
Konti lang, here and there. I like to study about a wide variety of different topics.
So let's talk about another member of the House, si JCAC Congressman Alvarez.
Alvarez? Yung sa hindi ko alam, baka na-offend lang siya. Well, especially considering his age, mga 80 plus siya, magda-90 na or something. Baka masyadong nasanay. Yeah, he's one of the oldest in Congress.
That means he's a veteran.
Baka masyadong nasanay na siya sa mga normal na galaw,
Kasi
normal
parang
sistema
ibang-iba po
doon.
kayo
Kasi
sa
parang
mga
old
typical
school, and then
politicians.
ikaw naman new school.
The oldest versus one of the oldest versus one of the youngest. Eh di, syempre, baka nakita niya sa social media, oh, yan na to.
O kung yung mga pinopost niyo po siguro parang...
Papakita ng mga staff niya, kasi baka wala siyang phone, di niya alam kung paano mag-Facebook. Papakita ng staff niya sa yun na to, paano yan sabi yan, ganun. Baka na-offend siya doon.
Maybe. Kasi
But
instead of
it's yung
talking about them, how about
technological differences.
yung other mong kasama sa house? Like si Leviste.
Sylvester,
Diba kayo si
very good
Batman,
din siya.
Robin, tsaka sino si Joker?
Ako yung
Ikaw
Joker
si
niya.
Joker. Sino si Batman?
Ako si Catman.
Ay, Catman. Sino naman si Batman?
Sila Marcoleta. I think, I don't remember.
Congressman Paulo Marcoleta. Tapos Robin naman si Kong Leviste.
Or Superman.
Kamusta
Hindi ko
naman kayo
maalala.
ni Kong Leviste?
Very good. There are plenty of topics. Nag-umpisa yung, I first talked to him regarding yung sa...
Cabral Files, diba?
Hindi, bago pa mag-Cabral Files. Actually, bago pa mag-flood control.
Nag-uusap na kayo?
Nag-uusap na kayo ni Kong Leviste. Kasi
Yung
kayong young
tungkol
guns
sa-
ng Congress.
Yes. Tungkol sa VAT. Kasi ang plano niya, i-decrease yung VAT. Tapos sa akin naman, nag-file ako ng bill for total removal na ng VAT. Because I want to create a new system in which the citizens are not overtaxed. So the government itself would have to make do with less funding, while at the same time the citizens will be taxed less. So nag-usap-usap kami tungkol doon, and then afterwards nagkaroon ng flood control issues, or lumaki yung flood control issues nung
Yung po ba yung parang lumaki na yung mga
Yung after. Tapos diba he showed you the Cabral Files?
Yes, yung sa mga Cabral files.
So, ang dami
Nakita
mong
namin yung
nalaman
mga
ba dun?
allocations, yes.
Baka meron kang pwedeng masabi dyan or confidential muna tayo.
Alam naman natin na madaming magnanakaw sa House of Representatives, and nakita naman natin tuwing bumabagyaw, tuwing bumabaha. The question would be is that what can actually be done about that? Kasi kahit masabi mo, nagnakaw ka kaya bumabaha dito, anong magagawa natin sa congressman na yun? Kung bumaha sa QC kahit nakakita natin na billion yung budget allocation sa kanila, what exactly is happening? Because no cases are being filed. And even if cases were filed, they're still powerful congressmen. Wala namang mangyayari sa kanila. So we're still seeing what else we could do outside of things that are proven not to be effective.
So,
Pero if ever, di ba, hindi ba dapat accountable kasi sila sa mga ginagawa nila?
But the system that would hold them accountable is also under the same system that
Parang
they
part
uphold.
po sila.
You cannot expect the justice system to work on people who can afford to buy the justice system.